With 3 games to go, we only had to win 1 or 2 home matches and then play Liverpool away, and the championship could have been won before we went to Liverpool. When you're going to win the major trophy for the first time for so many years, yeah, you do get hiccups along the way, and that's a test. You know, and tests are there to be met, and you think, right, are we going to collapse? Are we going to, stick our chin up and our chest out? But we faltered, and then we had to go up to Anfield, having to win 2-0, against arguably the best team in the country.
Arsenal had to go to an emotionally charged Anfield and face a Liverpool side in search of their second double in 3 years. With the cop in full voice, it looked like mission impossible for the Gunners. They were the ones who could be excused for feeling alone.
The onus very much on Arsenal, but a 1-0 Wimbledon-style win is no good to them. They've got to win, and they've got to win well.
Well, no one outside London, or sometimes in London as well, didn't expect us to win.
I think a lot of us deep down, if I'm perfectly honest, we thought, well, we're never going to do it. Because Liverpool were a great side, and we were still a young team that had perhaps thrown the championship away. So in that respect, I suppose the pressure was taken all off us, and George was quite relaxed. His team talk before the game was classic, because he said if he could just keep it tight for the first half, 0-0 at half-time, nick an early goal in the second half and then win it in the last few minutes, that'd be great. And we all sort of laughed, and it was just ironic the way it happened, and I can still hear his words now saying that before the game.
10 is Steve Bold. Now, a bit of a surprise on a night when you imagine that Arsenal must really attack, that a third centre-back, Steve, has been included.
It was well planned. I mean, the actual players' surprise when I changed from what's a regular 4-4-2 to a 3-5-2. So we decided to play with 3: Tony Adams, Stevie Bold and David O'Leary, and then Lee Dixon could really push tight in John Barnes, and Nigel Winterburn tight in Ray Houghton. And it worked a treat. I thought it worked superbly, and you take these chances being a manager. If it works and comes off, you're a hero, and if it doesn't, you're a villain.
Well, Bold is up there again. It's Merson on the far side that they're aiming for, but it was Bold's header here for Rocastle, tangling with Whelan. Michael Thomas getting to the byline. This could be danger for Liverpool here. And it's flicked just wide. The header by Bold eluded Grobbelaar. And Arsenal within a whisker of getting the goal they so desperately wanted early in this game.
By half-time, it was still 0-0, and George was still thinking that there'd be chances to come. It's down to taking them, and you can do this. And that's what happened.
So it's all going according to plan, lads. All we need to do is get a goal, whenever, and then we've only got to get one more, so just make sure you keep a clean sheet.
Winterburn and Richardson behind it. Adams has made a darting little run in there. And Smith! And Arsenal have scored. The Liverpool players are surrounding the referee, asking him to speak to a linesman.
I've spoken to some of the Liverpool lads since, Steve Nicoll and Ronnie Whelan, and I always say, well, what were you appealing about? And they said, well, we thought it was either offside or you didn't touch it, so we just thought we'd try our luck, One of the most frequently asked questions people ask me is, did you touch it? And I always say, yeah, I did, I got a good touch. It was just the fact that the flight of the ball didn't change all that much. I just why. It was quite tense, surrounded the ref, and the ref went over linesman, and it was quite intimidating because you had the likes of Ronnie Whelan balling in their ear and trying to influence them. So when the ref pointed to the centre circle, that was, a great moment of relief.
Ronnie Whelan looking on there. The goal's been given. And what a game we have now. On to Alan Smith. Ablett's there with him. Merson. Richardson. A chance here. Thomas! And Grobbelaar was able to grab it. There are the signals. Get forward, get forward.
I think the great story from it is when Steve McMahon is putting one finger up, and I can remember that, and I'm sure the lads that played that night, and there's only 1 minute to go, we've lost it. That for the lads must have been, when they scored that goal. I still watch it, and I'm disappointed I wasn't there, but I'm pleased for them lads that were actually in the team.
Arsenal comes streaming forward now in surely what will be their last attack. A good ball by Dixon, finding Smith. For Thomas, charging through the midfield. Thomas, it's up for grabs now. Thomas, right at the end. An unbelievable climax to the league season.
I remember it like it was yesterday. John Lukic threw it to Lee Dixon, right back position.
And then it went Lee Dixon, Alan Smith, Mickey Thomas.
I went for Bruce Grobler to make a decision.
I could see Alan Hansen and Steve Staunton closing in, and I'm thinking, Mickey, you got to shoot, you got to shoot. They're going to get a tackle in, but he just released the ball in the nick of time.
You can't really describe how you feel at that moment of time. It's just an elation. It's just, yeah. It's an out-of-body experience. You just go crazy.
The ball went in the net, and I just started crying on the pitch, and I just thought, we've done it. And then, before I knew it, Liverpool were kicking off again, and I just kept thinking, well, if they come down my side now, I've had it, because I couldn't see. I was tears rolling down my eyes, and I'm wiping the tears out my eyes, thinking, please. And luckily, they went down the other side, and then, you know, literally seconds, they blew the whistle and started crying again.
Set the final whistle. Arsenal, the champions. A momentous occasion this for Arsenal. Coming here, requiring a 2-goal lead, and snatched it in the most dramatic fashion in the last minute of the game.
All directors' decorum went out of the window. I sort of jumped out, catapulted myself out of my seat and punched the air. I said, yes! And then I suddenly came down into my seat again, and Peter would turn round to me, took out a cigar, and he said, never in any doubt.
The whole time, obviously, it was elation, when it was just like pandemonium. We just went crazy.
I burst out crying with emotion. I couldn't believe it. I had my dad and my brother there, and it was great to share with them. It was my son's birthday. It was just a fantastic day. I'd waited so long to get my first championship medal.
I mean, everybody said it was impossible here tonight, but you kept going until the 91st minute.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. We had that bit of luck tonight, didn't we? We got the late goal, and there's no way they was going to come back scoring that late. You know, the lads were really fired up, and I'm very pleased, and the boys have been magnificent, played brilliant.
We were all fairly young, and for us, it was our first big trophy, our first big moment in football, but I think we all agreed then that things will never get better than that. Impossible, really, for anything more dramatic to happen.
If there's one thing I think I'm proud of in my managerial career was giving the Arsenal supporters wonderful memories, and probably the best is the Anfield 2-0 victory.
Nothing really can come close to Anfield 89.
As long as football is written about or spoken about, it will always be there, because it was just one of those very special occasions. I mean, you know, you live for those sort of occasions.